When Madison Cole moved into her new apartment in Chicago, she thought it was the start of a fresh chapter. At 32 years old, she had just left behind a toxic relationship and a job that nearly drained her spirit. She wanted peace, stability, and a place where she could finally rebuild herself. But as life often reminds us, peace doesn't come without trials. The people she trusted the most were the ones who would eventually test her patience, loyalty, and strength. Madison had always been known for her warm smile, her patience with others, and her ability to forgive. That kindness, however, often left her vulnerable. In her new office, she quickly became everyone's go-to person. She would stay late to help with deadlines, share her ideas freely, and step in when others backed away from responsibility. She thought this generosity would earn her respect. Instead, it made her an easy target. Her colleague, Amanda Pierce, noticed Madison's quiet dedication. Amanda was charming on the surface, always laughing with the boss, complimenting others in public, but behind closed doors, she had a competitive streak that made her ruthless. Amanda began to twist Madison's good deeds, painting her as desperate for approval. She would casually whisper to others, "Madison's just trying too hard, don't you think?" Little by little, Amanda planted seeds of doubt. Soon, Madison noticed the subtle shifts: coworkers leaving her out of conversations, the boss overlooking her contributions, and even her friends beginning to question her motives. Madison's first instinct was to confront Amanda, but she stopped herself. She remembered the promise she had made to herself when she moved into this new chapter: no more fighting to prove her worth to people who only wanted to drag her down. Still, the betrayal stung. It was like carrying a weight in her chest that refused to let her breathe freely. Every time she saw Amanda flash that polished smile, Madison felt the urge to shout the truth. But instead, she chose silence. Not because she was weak, but because she was smart enough to know that silence combined with strategy can be the loudest revenge. Her plan wasn't immediate. Madison knew that the smartest way to destroy those who hurt you isn't through direct confrontation. It's by succeeding in a way that makes their lies collapse under the weight of truth. She began to change her focus. Instead of trying to win her coworkers' approval, she poured all her energy into her work itself. She stayed consistent, producing results so impressive they couldn't be ignored. She volunteered for projects others thought were impossible, and with quiet determination, she delivered them flawlessly. At the same time, she stopped giving Amanda any emotional reactions. When Amanda made snide comments, Madison smiled politely and walked away. When Amanda tried to take credit for her work, Madison documented everything, sending updates directly to their manager with clear evidence of her progress. She no longer allowed Amanda the satisfaction of dragging her into drama. To everyone else, it looked like Madison didn't even notice Amanda's attempts to undermine her. That calm silence became powerful. It made Amanda restless. Bullies thrive on attention, and when you starve them of it, they crumble. But Madison's revenge wasn't just professional. She began to build a life outside of work that reflected her strength. She reconnected with her love for painting, something she had abandoned during her last relationship. She joined a local art group, and before long, her work was displayed in a small gallery downtown. She also invested in herself, reading, learning, and improving skills she had once overlooked. Slowly, she built a confidence that wasn't dependent on anyone's approval. Amanda, on the other hand, became increasingly obsessed with undermining her. She grew frustrated that Madison's silence meant her schemes had no effect. The more Amanda tried to drag Madison down, the more isolated she became. Coworkers started to notice the contrast: Amanda's bitterness versus Madison's quiet strength. Eventually, their boss couldn't ignore it either. In one crucial meeting, Madison presented a project proposal so thorough and visionary that it left the entire team impressed. Amanda attempted to interject, but the boss stopped her, saying, "Let Madison finish. This is brilliant." That moment was a turning point. From then on, Madison's reputation soared. Amanda's influence faded, and the very people who once believed her whispers began to see the truth. Madison had destroyed her, not with angry confrontations or loud accusations, but with undeniable success and unshakable composure. Without saying a single word, she had revealed Amanda's true character to everyone. The sweetest part wasn't Amanda's downfall, though. It was Madison's own transformation. For so long, she thought revenge meant exposing someone's lies. But she learned that the real smartest way to destroy those who hurt you is to rise so high above them that their attempts to harm you look foolish. Silence, paired with success, speaks louder than any words ever could. In the months that followed, Madison was promoted, her artwork gained recognition, and her circle of friends grew stronger with people who genuinely supported her. Amanda eventually transferred to another department, her power completely diminished. Madison didn't celebrate Amanda's downfall with bitterness. She simply kept moving forward. Because the greatest revenge is not in watching your enemies fail, but in creating a life so fulfilling that their attempts to hurt you become irrelevant. And as Madison stood in that gallery one evening, watching strangers admire her paintings, she realized something profound. The pain others caused her had been fuel for her greatest growth. She hadn't just destroyed those who hurt her, she had built herself into someone untouchable, all without saying a word.